Hello, everybody, and welcome to ZTV Live. Today is Wednesday, September 9th, 2020. I'm Susan Mulligan-Fleischman, reporting to you live from Alexandria, Virginia, and I'm so glad that you're all here today on this muggy, rainy, late summer day. I just wanted to let everybody know that our Zebra latest issue is on the stands now, so please make sure that you pick up a copy of it. We have a great show for you tonight. Gina Cavallaro is our host, and she welcomes Monte Durham, who's about to open his brand new Salon Monty in Old Town Alexandria. We'll be getting to them in just a second. I wanted to highlight a few wonderful things about the Zebra Press. As you know, there's all different neighborhood news in our newspaper, and especially we had these guests from the Delray Vintage and Flea Market were on our show last week. Amy Eggers and Lauren Fisher, and their vintage and flea market is this Saturday, September 12th in Delray, so make sure that you go and check that out. Masks are required and they're physically distanced, but it's really a wonderful market. Also this Saturday, if you're interested, there's a free balance workshop at the Physical Therapy Zone right there in Old Town. So visit thephysicaltherapyzone.com if you'd like to check that out. There's lots of nuggets of wonderful information, some great interviews in the Zebra, so please be sure to check it out. Look for it on newsstands, and you can also go online to thezebra.org and read all the articles there. And now we'll get to our show. I'm going to introduce our host tonight, Gina Cavallaro. Hi, Gina. Welcome back to ZTV.
Hi, Susan. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you as always as well. We are very excited for your show tonight and your special guest.
Oh, so am I. And I'm so glad you told me that Zebra has hit the stands because I look for that every month. So excited, especially the advertisers, because sometimes you don't know who's in your neighborhood. So
that's exactly right. Yeah, I know. And actually, I'm glad you mentioned the advertisers because that's really the engine that keeps the Zebra running. And Mary Wadlin has a beautiful publisher's letter in this month's issue about showing the love to the advertisers and letting the advertisers know when you go in there that you saw their ad in the Zebra, because it's a wonderful, mutual love and support. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right to our special guest. I'm going to bring Monte Durham on the screen. Hi, Monty. Welcome to ZTV Live.
Hey, how is everybody on this rainy night, right? Well, it's not really rainy. It's kind of misty. It's a good thing I have a hair care line because I'm telling you, I've been pouring it on my head.
Well, I was just
I literally have been soaking my hair in it.
A little bit of that myself, to be honest with you. It's been a very humid day, so we'll have to talk about that later.
Well, absolutely. And I need a little help myself, but Gina, I'm going to let you and Monty take it away.
Take it away.
Thank you, Susan.
Thanks, Susan. Monty, it's great to see you. And I know you've been very busy. I think we should get straight into things and talk about the salon because it's really only a few days away. Tell me what's happening. What's going on? When are you having your grand opening? Tell me everything.
So I feel like I have a stopwatch somewhere ticking, right? And then with all good plans, there are things that go awry. So I'm going to be thankful that the wallpaper, which I had no idea because I went through a broker here, that was coming from London. We got it.
Ooh, that's kind of dicey, isn't it? You can't make any mistakes with it. How's that going?
It's good, and most of it's up. We have just a couple more walls to finish up tomorrow, so that's exciting, and it looks lovely. And I picked one pattern in remembrance of my mother, and so it's got roses and butterflies of flight in it, and her name was Rose. So I was so pleased that we were able to get that in there, and it looks stunning. So I'm very happy about that. The washer dryer, who knew that those were all back ordered? Did y'all know that?
That were what?
Back ordered. Everybody's at home doing home projects, so a lot of appliances are hard to find and get, but they're being delivered, so we're good. So anyway, it's down there by Hotel Indigo. I'll use that as my bookmarker.
On Union Street.
On 210 Union Street. Yeah, right across the street in that beautiful breezeway. And we are so excited. The beautiful thing is a new build. So, the tile is beautiful. It came out exactly what I wanted, even though it wasn't what I originally chose because it couldn't come in on time. So, you're kind of playing that game a little bit. So there's only 3 stations in the design studio, and then I have my private room. So it's exciting.
And listen, are you going to be constrained at all by the Alexandria restrictions on occupancy? Can you, at the beginning anyway?
Right. Unbeknownst to me, and I'm going to just say it's because I'm simply brilliant. So I'm gonna own that a little bit. I did not want the stations lined up on a wall. I come from the Red Door, I know space and it's a luxury. So, but the 3 stations that are out in the design studio actually have 2 walls. You're in a cubicle. So they're 7 feet tall and 5 feet wide. So you're actually,
that's nice, like in your own little space.
Right, for privacy, and or how lucky is this now with COVID, we meet all the requirements to do that. And of course, I have a private room. The issues are you can't have people waiting. I mean, we have 2 chairs. Space is small, so that's all we could get in there anyway. So COVID is kind of helping me introduce a small boutique salon style.
Oh, that's
there's no
really
place
nice.
for anybody to go. So while a lot of time it's negative, and it is for anybody that's suffering through it, and my thoughts and prayers are with everyone with that. But business-wise, it's kind of flipped, and it's working in my favor because we don't have to police it. It'll police itself.
So,
and of course,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No.
I went to salonmonty.com,
yes.
and I saw that you have all most of your staff, or most of your stylists, I should say, your colorists and makeup artists are women.
Yeah. So, well, it's interesting when we applied. I'm very proud of myself and the team that we did not go into any salon pretending we were getting a haircut and trying to get people to come to work for a stylist or makeup. And while under construction, once people heard, the name did not go up until about a week and a half ago. I didn't want it to come up too early because then people would be like, oh God, it's been up 8 months or, whatever. So I put it up right before we opened. So the excitement keeps building. The windows are all covered. So there will be a big reveal on Saturday. We still have the windows covered. But anyway, people were leaving their resumes and phone numbers in the door. How sweet is that? So we did not take any stylists or, go and poach, if you will. They came to us and interviewed. And it turned out that they were all women. So it was so funny. And, we have one, JD, is our receptionist currently, but he's also a stylist and won many awards while he was at Grand Web. So he's working to build that client base, and he will have a chair space. And then we have Carl Ray, the former First Lady Michelle Obama's makeup artist, will be in-house 2 days a week to update and inspire us with new looks in makeup and styling there for that. So, and then of course there's me. So you're right. We only have 3 stations, so there's 3 guys. So that kind of feels like it's balancing out. We're lucky we have so much diversity, and in also ethnicity and in age. So it's good. I'm still the oldest one in the salon.
Well, you're the master. I mean, it's you're directing the salon. And you've got also, I noticed on your website, I won't dwell on the website, but
no, it's good.
You have beautiful sketches of the different types of styles to suggest to people what you can do and what they can do. And it includes variety from Jackie O and Marilyn Monroe to Cyndi Lauper and Farrah Fawcett. I mean, are people still doing Farrah Fawcett hair?
You know what?
I think it's fabulous.
Okay, so what I did there was to do an introduction to Salon Monty. I mean, when you walk in, your hair will be washed with filtered water. The best cotton towels I could buy at the time that can dry quickly, of course. Hikari scissors are being used, known for their round, their precision in cutting. So I wanted to talk to that a little bit and what your experience will be, because people when you go to a restaurant, they give you a menu and you figure it out and they tell you and they bring it and it's a souffle or it's flaming and you get an experience. I want people to be inspired with that. And we did. And when you read those, you'll get a little tilt to it as, Jackie Kennedy, the classic bob with layers on the edge, perfect for a first lady. And then we got Diana Ross, whether it's polished and smooth or in wild
Halle
green.
Berry, I love her haircut too.
So, you can see why Diana Ross was called the boss. And you've got Jennifer Aniston with the long layer, which is really a Farrah Fawcett pulled forward.
Sure,
and it says... We know why she had a lot of friends. So all we're doing is making you think and encouraging you to try different styles. Now, these iconic hairstyles have lasted the test of time, and we're still talking about Lady Diane. Not the greatest hairdo on her wedding day. It really, that Spencer tiara really shoved it down on her forehead, that little bowl cut she had at the time. But you look at people and you're inspired. I mean, Jackie kept a bob her entire life.
Yeah.
Audrey Hepburn never cut her hair after a certain age and just wore it in a tight bun at the back. So it's sort of like finding your path in that and taking inspiration, whether you want to find that look and stick with it, or whether you want to be a Cyndi Lauper, which shows girls really do just want to have fun. So it's all about that. So we talk about that. We hope to inspire, educate, and get clients to look at it and go, you know what? I remember that. Maybe I should try it. No, I've tried that in the 80s. I don't want to try it again. So it's just to kind of give them.
And that's all so exciting. And I'm glad you brought up our Jackie Kennedy, the former First Lady. I think talking with you, it would be impossible not to talk about Jackie Kennedy because you're surrounded by Jackie in your room there, the beautiful room, and that gorgeous portrait of her sitting in the Papasan chair back there.
Right? Oh my God, you got a good eye.
Yeah. So I wanted to sort of say, she's a style icon. She's an American style icon, and always will be. But I wanted to ask you, does her style transcend the role of First Lady? Are there any other First Ladies who have really hit it in one way or another? I mean, not everybody can be Jackie, but are there any women also who were in the White House or even beyond the White House, beyond our borders, who you admire?
You know what? It's interesting. And, we always say sometimes, like me on the show, it was perfect timing at the right spot at the right time, right? That's how that all started for me. Well, you think about Jackie, 32 years old. Wow, right? Just had a baby
that was
boy.
A while ago.
Yeah, and just had a baby boy. And here she comes in, young, vibrant, very, very poised. And she's standing beside Mamie Eisenhower. So you just look at those two pictures together and you can see what a new, fresh, invigorating, not a lot of patterns, which Joe Kennedy told her not to wear because he had witnessed Queen Elizabeth. She didn't wear a lot of patterns, bright colors, so you can find her in the crowds. So you look at the circumstances. She's young, she's elegant. She was a horsewoman, and I think that played to a lot of her being so successful. Because when you're riding and you're being judged, what do you wear? Very formal fitted clothes, very tailored, well made, hand sewn, not a lot of bling.
And you stand up really straight too. It's the posture is important too.
And unlike me, you don't talk. And you learn to stand and show. So they're saying a lot of that was her success is because she was brought up as a horsewoman. And you go on, and French literature. She graduated from George Washington University with a degree in French literature. She went to Vassar and Salon and all those things. And she was the only child of Janet Auchincloss to get a college degree. But if you look at her and you think of those circumstances, not only was the bar raised, but it was raised because of her interest in history and in art and in culture. I mean, she just, we talk about her fashion because that's such an easy blueprint to go on, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you think about what she did outside of that. She saved Blair House, Lafayette Square. I mean, she truly was a historian. She saved Grand Central Station in New York City. So if we step outside of the sunglasses, triple standard pearls, and a pillbox, right? That is inspiring.
She was a woman of substance. It's true.
Right.
It's not the image we always have of her. That's
No.
true. Now there's a photo of you with Vicki Kennedy. Tell me about that photo.
Yeah.
And I have to ask you, did you get any dish from her on Jackie?
You know what? She said that Jackie was who we saw her. She had a quick-witted sense of humor. She loved gossip, but who doesn't? I mean, like, really?
Gossip or just dishing?
I think a little bit of both.
A little bit of both. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but no, she didn't. That was a hospice gala I was at. I had the honor of being Victoria Kennedy, Senator Kennedy's wife's, widowed rather, escort that evening. So we just had a lovely chat and talking about kids. We're talking, Caroline's daughter had just gotten married. And so we were talking about that and saying yes to a dress. And of course, but I tell you what she did. She got up and spoke to I've been with Capital Caring Hospice for 26 years. And I used to do home visits, and now I do the volunteer work for them and clean up their shops and organize and fundraisers. But she actually told such beautiful stories of her and the senator sitting on their little cottage up on the Cape and just holding hands and watching the sunset. And he said, this is what I'd like to do for the rest of my life. And it turned out it was what he did. She really shared, and I was shocked at how emotional she got with it and shared.
She's a very, very down-to-earth person. I don't know much about her, but I think that must have been a nice chat you had with her there.
Yeah. It was interesting, and you talk to people on a different level. And through the USO, which we had a little chat about earlier, I was the escort. I mean, Mel for hire, it almost sounds like, right? But I had the honor of escorting Anne Margaret.
I was going to ask you about that. I happened to pull that photo as well because, boy, she really was quite the sex symbol back in the day.
She still is. I mean, she's still working those 6-inch heels, let me tell you.
And that color of her hair is so
always
beautiful, too.
Yeah, and she is a little firecracker still. She doesn't miss a beat. And so that was very exciting to be a part of her
how did
evening.
How did you get involved with the USO? How did that all come about for you to be doing those things?
Right. I'm going to bullet it
there
because
she
I'm
is.
long-winded. I'm Southern, so we tell every story like Gone with the Wind. So you have to be mindful with us.
Give us the Cliff Notes then.
Right, exactly. So we, through Discovery Communications, one of the girls left the PR group of Discovery when it sold in Silver Spring and went to work for the USO. So she reached out to the talent team and we connected that way. So, and I knew her through Discovery. So she said, hey, would you like to do it? And I've ended up doing a few things, which I am just honored to be able to do for our servicemen and women out there.
Yeah, it's a great organization.
Yeah, so we were out there packing goodie bags on the pier in freezing cold weather without my coat. That was my mishap. It was nobody else's.
As long as your hair looked good, I guess that's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all that mattered. Right.
So,
but so that how it came about.
You've done so many things, and what you're best known for up till now, until the Salon, is the TV show Say Yes to the Dress Atlanta with Laurie Allen. Now, you and Laurie just seem to be having such a ball, and I was looking at some of the clips and some of the faces you two make when someone's putting a dress on and you've got your glasses on and you're looking.
Right.
And you're discerning, and she's looking at the ground thinking, this is never going to work. Or you're both fawning over someone.
Right.
And boy, that is just so terrific. Is that really the true relationship? Are you guys really close, really good friends?
We've known each other for 19, maybe going on 20 years. Her granddaughters are my goddaughters.
Oh,
So
wow.
we
Okay.
really are family, and we just take nothing personal. We're just good. You just can't. I tell everybody. I mean, they go, God, Laurie looks so good, which she does. When she went through that double mastectomy with breast cancer, I mean, it took the cell out of our the wind out of our cells, as it did her. She never said ouch once. Now she's had a little other surgery, and that hurt a little more. She said everything pulled on but her ankles. So, but she looks great.
She does look great. She's
Yeah.
great, and you're obviously longtime friends.
We
And
have so much fun together.
I
So much fun together.
listen. I wanted to, because while we're on the topic of style, I wanted to get your take on men's style. It's not something you normally talk about.
No.
You have style. You are a very stylish person. I've seen you in Old Town Alexandria wearing your big houndstooth jacket or small houndstooth, velvet, florals. You're wonderful. And you're wearing this beautiful brooch on your lapel, a pocket.
Yes, always. Mm-hmm.
What is timeless for men, and what should men be thinking about right now? What's your take on the man style?
And it's interesting because with the USO, the guys call in, they're getting out of the service, right? And they're going into civilian life, and they've got to interview for his job. So we talk about it. But a note, the brooch I'm wearing tonight, this pin is a rose, and I found it in my mother's drawer while we were preparing for
it's beautiful. Yeah.
So I wear that often,
it's a lovely tribute to her. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think we have to have a little. But as far as guys go, we always talk about a bride, and I always say this. I said, brides ultimately, they have hundreds of choices through color, style, fabrics, all that. And guys, they think not so, but we do. So in our jackets alone, we can go to a notch lapel, a peak lapel, a shawl lapel, a nehru collar. We can go to a 1-button, a 2-button, or a 3-button. We can go to a single vent, no vent, or triple vent, or a double vent, depending upon how the jacket's made. Our pants can be pleated, they can be flat, they can have belts, or they can have suspenders. We have stripes on the side, or we don't. And our shoes run the gamut. And of course, socks can be whatever you want. So we do have decisions to make, But traditionally,
how daring are men? Are they as a little
getting more so?
Getting more so?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And we will be carrying a line of jewelry, Mindy Lamb, and it's just that simple. Her men's business on brooches is off the chart. The women are catching up. Interesting. So I think men are being a little more daring, even in what I would consider a relatively conservative space that we have in Old Town. But I hope when they see me out and I'm wearing things, they either get inspired or maybe spit up in the back of their mouth. I don't know. Maybe one or the other. Right?
I think they want to know who you are.
Yeah. Well, I had on a polka dotted shirt for my birthday.
Happy birthday. You just had a birthday. Happy birthday.
I did, yeah. Thank you. 64. How did I get this? I mean, when did that happen?
Oh, probably it hasn't happened yet. 64. This is great, and I love talking with you about style. But I have to say, you've come such a long way. You've told your story before, but tell our viewers where you came from. You grew up in West Virginia.
I did.
In less than stellar surroundings, and maybe it was a happy childhood, but certainly not as lavish as you've built it into. No,
I mean, I grew up and we were poor. I mean, but I understand it. We didn't know that because our neighborhood was pretty much the same, right? I grew up with my cousins around. I have 22 cousins. My mother's from a family of 13. So, I had a lot of playmates when I was little. Now, I'm about my age, too, so it worked out in our favor. But we grew up in a house, 6 rooms. My mother had a formal room that we were never quite allowed to be in. We could watch TV in there, and that was it. Okay. And we knew when Lawrence Welk came on Saturday night, we were going to go to bed right afterwards, right? But it didn't have running water, and it also did not have a toilet. So we had an outside lantern. And let me tell you, that is spooky to a little kid at night.
Oh, I would think so.
Walking out that path with a lantern. So, and in the winter, it's so cold. But yeah, we had food on the table and we had clothes on our back, and we said our prayers every night. So
and your mother was a hairstylist, or
no, she just had impeccable taste, which is so funny. My aunts were fashionable. My mother and my grandmother would say to my dad that he got the pick of the litter, right? And my mother was this tall, slender, and looked very much like Jackie. She emanated that and kept that.
Really did. I've seen the photos.
Through her entire life. Very quiet, not anything showy. She just wasn't going to have that. But she was pretty staunch with us. We talked about that a little bit with Susan, the grammar queen, and proper. We were never allowed to speak in a slang tone. We just weren't allowed to do that. So
well, she and your father did a beautiful job. I know he passed away recently.
Yeah,
you've had a very busy time right now. We've got a photo of your parents up on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Your mother's wearing what looks like a white Chanel suit with black piping, and your dad.
That was going out to their birthdays. Their birthdays are a week apart, and we went to a very nice hotel in DC. So we took them out. You'll see Mother has her corsage on that one. So
I had a hard time choosing photos. I went to your Facebook page, and I was smiling the whole time because you have so much positivity on there. And you and I met casually, as you meet so many people in Alexandria. We were walking around in the neighborhood. You were walking Charlie, your cute little dog, and I was walking Nacho.
Right.
And I don't know how we started talking, but we did. And every time I saw you, you were so approachable, so friendly, and so giving and generous in your room.
Sweet. Thank you.
I really want to ask you about it came as no surprise when I got to know you a little better that you said you had worked with hospice,
right,
and that you had done a lot of other charity work, and you're not overly boastful about those things.
No.
Where does your positivity come from, and what is the importance of community right now, especially because it's so curtailed with what we can do? But where does that all come from for you? How do you keep it going, Monty?
You know what? I think a lot of it comes from, I was taught by example. And I think when you see that, I remember people would come around to my grandmother's house, which is called Street, and they had no money, right? And again, no toilet, my grandparents as well, and no running water. So every night we had to get the water in. I swear to this day that this arm is a half an inch longer. So when I get my suits done, because they always go, it's and they don't think it's odd because part of our bodies are one's longer, one bigger.
Just do what you got.
I know why. Yeah. I know why. People go, right. But anyway, and my grandmother, there's no money, but my grandmother and my mother and everything, my grandmother, I remember vividly opening that sunbeam bread, a loaf of bread, and she took it out and made sandwiches with all that bread, put it back in the sleeve, tied it off, and gave it to the person that was asking for food or something, and then a mason jar of water. And my parents were the same way. My mother would look through her closet and find stuff to give, and there were casseroles to be made and things were given. So I was taught early on to always share. And now I didn't do that so much with my sisters. However, but we were taught to always help. And I think that just embedded me in me. And anything I can do, I try to do. And there are some things I do a little more successful than others, right?
Well, listen, but, I know you're being humble, and I'm trying to impress upon our viewers of people who have not met you in person that
right.
That you take the time to stop and talk with people.
Right.
And these are just people all over I've seen you get stopped 6 times on one walk because I'm walking behind you and you're trying to run, and you always take the time. And I think that's a very attractive thing about you and what brings people to you. So I wanted to ask you about the hospice care. That's a
Yes.
time of life that we're not there yet.
Yeah.
You and I are not there yet, but we've known people who have gone there. What does that take to be empathetic, to be sympathetic, and to be so caring, and to have the kind of, what does it take to be a hospice worker?
It takes a lot of faith. And, I tell everybody, do not look upon this as miracles happen every day. Just do not give up. Miracles happen. We do know when our journey is going to end or about to end, but we still can't guess it. My father just passing, we just couldn't guess it. And, I know all the signs I know. To think me, medically not trained, right? Ciphering a TPN and shifting and flushing lines and doing suction, because that's what had to happen. And I got involved during the AIDS epidemic because a lot of my friends in my field were dying and people were just shutting them out. And hospice, doors open, hearts opened, and arms opened. And I thought, this is where, speaking of dignity and compassion. And I think that's what is at the center of that, making sure there's always that touch of dignity and compassion. Mm-hmm. And it is challenging. It can be very challenging. But to lead someone through that and help them navigate, it's not always easy. And I don't know if I'm always comforting, but I do my best to step back and let people absorb that moment and where we are, and then educate, coach, and support and pray. Sometimes the Lord's Prayer is all people need to hear.
It's what they need, yeah.
Yeah, so it is challenging. I no longer do in-home service. I will tell you, my last patient, when they left at Sibley Hospital, and unfortunately, he came home and ended his journey. But every time I was in Sibley, I go, you girls need to put those caps back on. I don't know who's who. It's hard. And all the nurses have all these letters now behind their names, which congratulations to them. They are the Florence Nightingale. They have my biggest support. I love them. I love nurses. So when they left, they gave me an honorary nursing degree from Sibley, and I have a white cap, so I'll have to find. So,
well, yeah, time you see me walking, if I fall and scrape my leg, I'll
right, yeah. I can probably do a Band-Aid real quick.
Well, I think what I'm sensing is that you're going to bring all of your positivity and your sense of community and your you really care about individual people.
I do.
To the salon. And since we're back to talking about the salon, I'd like you to walk us through the full Monty, since your name is Monty. So you have this line of products. Let's go through that and see if we have any questions from the audience.
All right. So on flights, and I've already admitted I'm not a very good speller, but I can spell my name. So that helped in this endeavor. And I thought, I'm underneath these lights and my hair was lightening up. Unpigmented, turning gray is what I'm trying to say politely. And I thought it was getting frizzy, and we'd film and then take a break and then come back under those lights. So I thought, I've got this. I studied hair in London. Surely I can figure out something to do this. So I went on that quest and I found it. And I thought, okay, what name can I do? And I thought, all right, I would see men and women in the airport, because I traveled so much, dumping all this stuff into the trash cans because you can't get it through, or in Ziploc bags. And they had and I thought, okay, we got to simplify that. I'm going to simplify it. So there's 5 products in the line. M, moisturizing shampoo. O, one-step conditioner. They both do just what they said. N, natural root lift, and you can spray that to the root. It's in directional, so you don't have to put it in your hand like a mousse. It's directional spray. The bottles are all small, recyclable, not tested on animals, paraben-free.
Oh, lovely.
And boy, did I get all that in there. Yeah. T, a taming balm, which is my favorite because I use it to keep my hair smooth instead of all the frizz. And E, Everhold hairspray. M, moisturizing shampoo. O, one-step conditioner. N, natural root lift. T, taming balm, E, Everhold hairspray, Monte, you get the full Monty.
That is the full Monty, folks.
That
You
is
get
it.
right here.
Well, when I'm talking to,
Kind of interested in the root lift. Wait, that one is wait, I have it written down right here, the natural root lift.
Yeah, that's
is
it.
That for color or just to bulk your hair?
Okay, so something that a lot of people don't know, and even stylists, that the FDA and food and environmental agencies really hit the hair division, beauty division, actually, really hard a couple years ago, and stricter guidelines. So we can no longer say sulfate free on a bottle. If you see that, that means it's an old run, and they are going to let them have it run through because, big companies make millions of these bottles. So I don't mean to say it's old. I'm just saying that the lettering is old. The terminology is old.
I hear you.
Yeah. So what it does is there's a sulfate Laurie, and that's the damaging property if you've had chemically altered hair. So now that component is on the back of the bottle saying it's free. So you may not see that sulfate free on the front, but you'll see its component, its chemical makeup on the back. But it is paraben free. It's bottled here in the U.S. It has a few things we brought in from Europe just because the ingredients I wanted to have in that. And I just thought, you either want your hair, we gotta clean it. It's a gentle shampoo you can wash. If I run in the morning, then I'm good. But if I'm in a hurry and I go out, I take a shower and I come back and run, so I have to shampoo my hair again at night.
Okay.
The conditioning treatment is very light. You can put it on. You could use it as a conditioning treatment if you want it overnight. Do know that, like a sponge, after 20 minutes, your hair has stopped absorbing anything. So when people tell me, "Oh, don't worry, I've slept in it all night," it's like a sponge in the water. After 20 minutes, it can't take anything else in it. It's stopped absorbing.
Good to know.
Right.
Well, there's so much to learn, Monty. I mean, I feel like we ought to do this again.
And
What
just
I'd
keep
like to tell our viewers is what is going to happen in the next few days. Tell me about the opening. And there's something about a soft opening, or is that a touch?
So one thing, there's two things that are important in the salon that were to me. So Saturday, September the 12th, we're having an open house. It's at Hotel Indigo and on their breezeway, as well as Hummingbird has joined ranks. So we're going to share both patios. It will be in compliance with the FTC. I mean, everything has CDC. We're going to follow that, and the guidelines given by the city. So mask and separation. There'll be a gate count. So once the patio falls where it is, then people will have to wait to come in, if that's the case, right?
That's this Saturday, September 12th. What time?
7 o'clock to 9. So we'll give tours, probably 10 at a time in the salon. It was only 825 square feet.
Okay.
September the 12th just so happens to be Jackie Kennedy's wedding anniversary to Senator Kennedy in 1953. So there we go. And somebody goes, is that coincident? When it comes to Jackie, there are no coincidences.
No, I'm getting that sense.
Right. And there will be a portrait of her. When you come, you'll just see it. That was presented to me by the Ronald McDonald Foundation in 2017. They flew me out in October, presented me with their Spirit Award for my work with underprivileged students, gave me the award, and had a LA artist paint this beautiful portrait of Jackie in part as my
and
gift.
Your customers and visitors can see that when they walk in.
When they walk in, there she is.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
that's gonna be beautiful. I really can't wait. I'm going to be there Saturday to share in the excitement. I think Susan might join us too, and maybe some of the other staff at the Zebra.
Yeah, please come on down. Bring the cameras. Bring people. We're just going to have a great time. I think I shared with y'all that Kate Lang from Forbes magazine's flying down to do a life story on lifestyle story. Isn't that amazing?
And another item that we have to look forward to is a potential, what do you call it, a reality show.
Yeah.
About Salon. So that might be coming. Maybe we can save that for the next conversation.
Yeah,
We'll
But
just leave that
Robert,
hanging out there like a dot, 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 you
yeah,
know,
and
join us
Roberts
again.
Media. Yeah, and Roberts Media will be in attendance. There'll be a photographer and a videographer. The mayor's coming down. We're going to cut a little ribbon there. How exciting
Oh,
is
we're
that?
going to cut the rug and maybe you'll
Yes.
sing a little bit, I hope.
My God, I don't know if that'll work.
Well, maybe I will. You never know. You give me a
Yeah, there you
champagne,
go.
anything can
Couple
happen.
glasses of good champagne.
Anything can happen. So
Yeah, and
remember Salon Monte, 10 Union Street next to the Indigo Hotel, Saturday, September 12th from 7 to 9, an open house and a little tour of the salon if you like
yeah,
it.
we're very excited.
Salonmonty.com. Go check it out, make an appointment, and we'll see you
Well, good.
there. And Monty,
Yeah,
thank
I
you
mean,
so
we're
much
so
for coming
excited.
on.
I've been a member of St. Paul's, so Orrin Walder's coming down to bless the space that morning before we
Oh,
start.
fantastic.
I know.
Good.
A lot of
Okay.
support, and thank y'all so much on Zebra Paper. I appreciate everything y'all are doing, and continue Zebra to put the good word out there that there is so much good work going on in our neighborhood and our communities, and there's so many good people doing the right things, and we need to shed light on that. And I appreciate this opportunity and sharing a little bit of my story.
Thank
So
you,
thank
Monty.
you.
It's been so much fun talking with you, and can't wait to see you again.
All right, Saturday. See y'all
Take
then.
care.
All right.
Ciao. Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, Monty. What a wonderful show. Monty, the Zebra is so happy that you've come to Old Town, and we just can't wait for your opening and to have you join the ranks of more good news in Alexandria. So thank you so much for coming on ZTV Live. And as Gina said, we'll have plenty to talk about again next time, obviously. So thanks so much.
We're going to do it sooner.
That sounds great. Good luck with the next couple of days. I know it's going to be a little bit exciting for you as you get ready for your opening, but I wish you all the best. So thank you.
Right.
We'll
Thank
see you
y'all
on
both
Saturday.
so much.
Okay.
Gina,
All right.
Susan, thank
Yep.
you.
Bye,
Good
Monty.
evening.
Yep. Gina, thank you. We'll see you next time. Okay,
Bye.
that is going to do it for us for ZTV Live tonight. Be sure to join us tomorrow night for the Virginia Amos Show. Virginia's guest will be John Porter, a longtime Alexandria former principal for T.C. Williams, Alexandria's living legend, instrumental in getting Act for Alexandria up and running. So please tune in here tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, and we hope to see you then. Until then, remember to be kind and, as much as you can, to be the good news in someone's life.